guys, this is Monica with the K, and I came today to a certain vision that I have to speak up today and make a video. That has to do with going through a hardship of having nothing and coming into nothing. You coming into really owning nothing. Um, you are feeling already that your life or that recreated life that you have lived or envisioned through watching TV and seeing how life shall be, and also through your family envisioning you your whole life, preparing you for that grand vision, whatever that is, to be a millionaire, to be a successful business person, or to be happily married and have that very amazing husband who financially take care of you and the family, and whatever vision that really has been planted in you by your very own parents in your society, is what is today you are fighting against. Imagine now in this moment when you close your eyes, and one of the things in those very, very hard moments we are learning that we are going, if you envision yourself as your being is actually a house. This is a house that your spirit resides in. So your arms, you have the head, you have the whole body is a house, and it's pretty much a foundation that we build, and really our life becomes that enlightened grand vision of the cosmos, of our lovely heavenly Father and heavenly Mother in spirit, that has been planted here thousands of years ago, and we have been through the civilizations reawakening that vision. And so when you go into your certain relaxation, you start to realize that you go all the way back to childhood, because that's when you are of the purest. And whatever you do in your childhood, from 1 to 6, that is actually the grand vision of Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother that you are doing, because you have no distraction. And those years you have no distraction, and everybody respects you, and you are just new. So you know what? It's like an artist. When artists build themselves up in a moment when they have nothing, right? And I'm going through the stage myself, and really having nothing. I went to my materialistic part when I lived in Los Angeles, and I had everything, and expensive things, and then boom, I hit the ground, because it's just I wasn't doing things that I came here for, and so I went through the darkest of the darknesses, and I moved away. I left everything behind. I left all the furniture and beautiful things. I just left it behind, because I ended up living as a very sorrowful being who had no idea. And in that very dark being, in my dark house, there was no such a thing that my spirit wished to reside. My spirit was really knew of the body, because knew that it was assigned to this vehicle. But there was so much work to do for my spirit, my higher self, to even actually wishing to take a place inside here, because there were just dark tunnels, and it was a very scary place. And once I moved away to Miami, I really was learning the lessons, because then I had nothing really to hold on to, and I had to really just start dissolving. I had to start literally melting. I literally was melting, not just the heat. The heat was actually a big help, but I started melting. My vision started melting. My grand visions of being a businesswoman, and because the way I was looking at the businesses and being an artist, I always, for some reason thought that I had to be assigned to some famous whatever singer, rapper, whatever it was, and that vision slowly dissolved, and when I started melting away and my body started clearing and my skin was really getting very bad, because I was melting. When you melt that inside angers and inside stucknesses and a lot of spirits reside, or spirit-like entities reside in your body, because when you are in the darkness and you are very opened in the darkness, then you have anything to really come, and parasites can come and just take a place because you are empty. And in an empty place, anything can take place, anything can come and just kind of take a peek and be like, this feels very comfy. This person doesn't even know of such greatness of this beautiful vehicle. It's almost like you owning some, and I'm not into cars, but if you compare it to, like, you have a beautiful mansion or a beautiful amazing car everybody wishes to have, yet you are not taking care of it. You are not consciously connected. So your Mercedes is beat up, and from outside it looks great, but nobody, if anybody comes and sit in it, it feels great, but really you're not getting the great value you yourself out of it, because you are not consciously feeling it. And so it is really important for us to go to the childhood. When you go to childhood, you and ask your parents all kinds of questions, and it doesn't matter if they tell you, oh, what are you, just be very nice about it. Literally interview your parents at a moment when they don't even know that you are interviewing them, because in this moment when you start asking them questions, you will slowly start realizing that a lot of things that you was doing in childhood, they were taken away from you because you were stuck maybe in your parents' vision. Maybe your parents were the ones who had a certain vision of being an athlete or whatsoever, and so their mind planted their seed into, because you was their little mini me. So it's really important for everyone to go into the childhood and become a child. And I know in today's society it's quite interesting when you are 30-year-old and you are acting like a kid. But what happens is, because when you skip all these childhood years, because someone planted their vision in you and it started growing in you, all this time that their vision grew in you, and it wasn't you, it wasn't your gift, so it creates this super tier, because further you go with somebody else's vision, right? So it's taking you here. This is you here. This is your connection with higher self and with God and the paradise and heavenly everything. So then you can grow into this beautiful flow of wonderful energy. But when you come here and somebody planted a seed here, so they connect here, right? And it's their mind, so they are literally planting it in you. At some point, when you cut the cord, you become empty, because there is no life in you. There is no, it's nothing of you. It's everything of them. So you can't move because you have no energy flow. You don't have an energy flow because someone was living through you. Somebody was literally living through your vehicle. And it can be one of your parents, it can be everybody. If you don't have a certain low self-esteem, everybody will be living through you. So you will be there energized, you will be there inspiration, you're gonna inspire everybody, but you always, when you come home, this is what happens to you, and your spirit comes and tell you, but you are here for this, but you say, I'm tired, I can't. And next day somebody call you, oh, I need okay, you go, because you are connected with them. So you constantly are investing, constantly somebody is living through you. And it is very painful, because we really came here, everybody with those gifts, and we have to treasure them, and we have the power to treasure them, but we have to gain our power back. And I made a song when I was in my lowest, and I literally was sleeping majority of the day. I would go have a coffee in the morning, Cuban coffee, felt amazing, took my doggies, and was the Mother Teresa of the coffee place up there, and inspiring everybody. And what really was happening, I was inspiring my own self. So I was going there to talk to these people and inspire those so-called losers or whatever they were, because I needed to inspire myself. I was going to inspire myself because I was trained. I was trained of those ex-boyfriends who yelled at me. I was trained of negative energy. I was trained of all of it. I didn't want to have anything to do with any of it. And so I said, no, no more, no more. I'd rather be just anywhere, somewhere where I don't have to speak to anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. And I'm just fine being by myself. But the way how it was designed was that I had to go to these extremes to be with these extremists. So I would get pissed off. I would just get so pissed off inside of myself that I would say, no, this is not happening. So I was pissed off because I was so at first, okay, sorry. And then at some point I was like, what are you doing? But it was because when that spirit doesn't live in you, that you are one with it right now, you can take a deep breath. You don't have to feel like you have to be doing so many things, because you know that you're working on something that will and is healing the humanity, because you are healing yourself. If you are an artist, you are creating art and you're not making money on it right now, and everybody's telling you, but how, everybody is telling you how are you going to make money, and you know inside of yourself. That's the only thing, that you know it, that it will make money, but you don't care for it because you are focusing on that spiritual being, on that spiritual part of you. Your whole life you chased those business, money-oriented goals. Those are the ones that thought of always constantly thinking about money took you to the point where you had no money whatsoever. So you had to even lose the thought of money. You had to come to a reality of no money. That you couldn't even make money and you couldn't even rely on money. So all you relied on was to have a vision where you are not going to be wasting or spending money. So you would be left out with nothing. So you can create out of nothing, out of whatever is available to you within your reach, that out of those things. And then the spirit comes and start guiding you, because now you cry. Finally, thank God, you cry. And the tears are actually taking those visions, those wrongdoings, and they are turning them, and you cry. And it's in a kinetic energy. When you push something and then it rolls on its own and it goes down, and you don't have any control of where it will go. But you need to do, if you have a huge thing in front of you and there is a hill, waterfall. So it comes a time where you would be with this thing slowly moving, because the river, or let's say you have a boat. It's a boat and you are on a boat. So this boat is slowly heading towards the waterfall, where once you fall, you don't know where you fall. So what you can do is you can actually get behind the boat, because you have to get somewhere rid of the boat. So you push even more, and now everything, if you put everything of your all those old visions and old patterns and old habits and old friends who were dragging you down, and you, with love, place them into this boat. With love, meaning they're not going to be dragging you, because you're on the boat with them, and you know you're not supposed to be on this boat, and you know that you can come out of the boat, and you don't have to be. You already helped them so much. You already done so much for them. But how are you gonna fly away? You need to place yourself away from it. And if they wish to go with you, you invite them. Hey guys, there's a fall. I see a waterfall. There is a fall. There is something, and I'm going this way, and I don't wish to go back to the mud. I've been there so many times. I'm not going down that fall. No. Sorry, you guys. I am not going through that fall. I am not going to jump out of the bridge just because you are telling